Hello guys, today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a C# botnet that has the ability to do packet spam. Maybe we'll implement at a later time IP spoofing and maybe DNS amplification. This is going to be in C# obviously. I'm doing this because most other botnets that I've seen online are in JS, Python, and just C. So I believe that this is probably the first botnet in C#, and it's going to limit your range because you're going to be able to use it in Windows systems, but nonetheless it's something new. So to illustrate, I'm going to illustrate this on MS Paint, how we're going to do this. So let's just say the square is our server. This is what we're going to be using to communicate to all of our clients, or all of our bots. And you should know how to code obviously already before you're doing this, and a little bit about networking. It's like layer 4 networking stuff. So that's our server, these are our clients. We're going to communicate with TCP connection to all the clients. I don't know if this is the best way, but that's just how I'm doing it. And we are going to send commands. Information is going to be going from and to client server. And acting in a botnet way, we will send an IP of a target and a given port and a bit rate, or how many bytes we want to send in each packet. And it's going to do UDP packet spam to the target. Obviously there's going to be various commands and other stuff we're going to implement through here, but this is just pretty simple from our attacking standpoint. Okay, let's get to the coding portion of this now. We already have some code down, and I'm going to explain this. You need to import system.net and system.net.socket. All this is going to be static, all of our functions, all of our variables. I haven't defined the host or the port. You're going to put that for your host server IP and the port you want to connect to. And we made a TCP client of our host server, and in our main we're going to call this connect method. Later on we're going to initialize other stuff like maybe logging, making logs, or we're also going to go into asynchronous programming because we have read and listen methods for getting commands from our server. But right now we have a connect method. We are trying to connect to our host server and establish a connection, TCP connection. And we are catching an exception, so if we times out, we don't get a connection established, we are going to just loop back into this connect. And it's going to keep on going until we get a connection to host client. And then once we get a connection, we want to listen. We're going to create a static void listen function. Once we get that done, we want to listen. We're going to call listen because we are listening for a command from our host server. All this is going to be in try and catch because we do not want this program to exit unless we specifically send a command to exit. We never want this to exit unless a command is issued, because as a botnet, it always needs to be online in case we need to use it, of course. So we're going to be listening for a command, and the way these commands are going to be sent is we have our IP. Let's just say that's our IP, and it's going to be split with this. This is going to be a char delimiter, a port, and then a break with our char delimiter, and then how many bytes, and then another char delimiter where we're going to say if we're using DNS amplification or not. So let's make a char delimiter. And it's an array. You can make it an array and make it equal to whatever you want. Actually, wait, no, it's an array, so. Right now, let's just use money sign and commas. We have a char delimiter, and we need to instantiate a byte array to store the stuff in that we get from our host server. Let's just put something random 1024. Now we establish a network stream that we will read the data from the server, and that's going to be equal to host server dot get stream. So it's getting a stream of data from our host server, or it's making one, and we are going to read any data that's being sent to us. Int received. Let's make an integer, and that's going to be equal to stream, or network stream dot read data offset and received data. Now what that's doing is that's weird. Oh, I'm so stupid. It's data.length. I'm looking at my other code. This is pretty hard. Okay. What that's doing, it's getting the data that's getting sent from our host server and putting it into an integer. It's getting how long it is, basically, I think. We're gonna put that, we want that into string value. We're gonna do encoding .ascii, so we're getting it from bytes to get string, and we're gonna get our data, received data, and it's gonna transfer the data that we got into a string form, but it's gonna be separated, like our IP and the port, the bit amount, and the kind of attack we want to use. It's all gonna be separated by this. So we need to create an array of strings. Just call it info. It's equal to str data.split. We're gonna split it with a delimiter. The char, that's our delimiter. So assuming you send the command in the way that I said before with IP port, the amount, and then the type, we are going to do IP address, sent IP. We're going to say that's equal to IP address dot parse info. And since that's going to be the first thing we send, we're just going to go to the first index, which is 0. Then integer of set port. So our set port that we want to flood. Integer dot parse. And that's going to be info 1. Well, it's the second index, but first. And then integer sent data, how many bytes we want to send. That's going to be equal to int.parse info second array. Now we're also getting sent a boolean. We'll just call this DNS amp, and that is equal to a bool dot parse info our third index, or 4 technically. So yeah, now we have the command that we need to execute, and we're gonna have a static void send method, which takes in all of these, and I will talk about our sending method in the next episode, or part of this tutorial. Hope you guys enjoy this or find this educational. We'll see you next time.